Oh, what's up, guys? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in this world or wherever you're watching this video. My name is Jacob, and welcome to Canadian STI. Okay, so as per my first video that I put out, I said that I was going to go over what the engine bay, or what components are in your engine bay. Now, a lot of the times I see on Naziok forums or forums everywhere, I was that person at one point, even because I remember when I first got my STI, I was with a guy who had a BRZ, one of my friends anyway, and we went outside. I popped the hood, and I was like, "Ooh, is this the turbo?" And I was pointing to the secondary air pump. So, it's kind of funny. So I don't know, not that I don't know, but I'm not going to go over every tiny little thing that's in the engine bay, like the ABS lines and so on and so forth, but I'll go over what I know and what I see and maybe post it up into a forum, because I still have looked long after doing research just to see if anyone has ever come out with like a good video that goes over what's in your engine bay. And because I mean, a lot of people are going to get their brand new cars, and I mean, you're going to want to show your friends, your family, your girlfriend, boyfriend, a civilian walking down the street. You're going to want to show them your car. So it's good to know what things are when you open up your hood and show people your engine bay, for example. And since mine is completely stock, there's no aftermarket parts installed. So since mine is completely stock, I figured I may as well go over what exactly is kind of in the engine bay, so you can show your friends and be like, okay, this is an intake manifold, this is my turbo intercooler. And so that's why I figured I'd make this video. Before I go outside to do that, I just wanted to thank the whopping 2 subscribers to the channel, as well as everyone for watching my first video, even though it's me just stuttering along about what I wanted to do with my channel, and especially my drifting short. There was a big snowstorm not that long ago, so I was happy to go out, and that was the first time I think I had ever played around with my STI. I was a little terrified because I didn't want anything to go wrong or anything like that, but either way, without further ado, let's go outside, let's check out the engine bay, and I'll kind of show you guys around and explain a little bit of what's in there. Alright, so we're out here, guys. It's actually a new day. I had some stuff to do yesterday, so I ended up kind of postponing filming the rest of this video. But here's the old STI. We'll get up into the hood, under the hood. Let's get into the trunk and see what we can find. But no, so we're up under the hood, and we're going to check out and see exactly what we're looking at. So this is what you're looking at. I should probably note that this guy right here that I'll go over is actually only, I'm pretty sure, is only from 15 to 17. And then after 2018, they took it out, if I'm not mistaken. Also, before I start, nitrile gloves, guys. They're wicked. For if you're working on anything, or you're working with fluids, doing any of that good stuff, they're really great to have. So I definitely recommend picking some up, and I'll link some down in the description for you guys to check out. They're like $30, but honestly, they're really worth it. But without further ado, we'll kind of go in a snake and a worm-like sequence. So right here we have the strut tower. You have your strut. Down here, of course, that's not even really, whatever. Down here is your ABS module. You have your power steering reservoir. Down here is your intake box. This houses your filter, your air filter, and everything like that. This is your mass airflow sensor. This little guy right here. We have your intake air duct, so this kind of directs air going up into your grill, sort of, into your intake, and then goes in and so on. Up here is your sound generator tube that I was just mentioning, and all that really does is like pump engine noise and intake noise into your cabin. And I mean, if you're like me and you have something like a muffler delete or something, it's pretty useless because it's too loud. It's too loud. We already have enough noise going anyway. We don't need this. Hence why I think they took it out. But regardless, here's your intake hose, kind of. I guess you can call it a hose. We'll go up. This is your coolant, your upper coolant expansion tank. If we can look under here, actually you can kind of see your turbo is actually located under here. So it's connected to your engine. Well, not to your engine, but Connected everything through there. There's a big heat shield, so typically if you have worked in your car, or that heat shield might come off and you might replace it with an aftermarket heat shield or a turbo blanket or whatever, so you might be able to see it a little better. But next up we have the turbo intercooler. So this is a top mount stock intercooler, and this pretty much just cools the air coming from your turbo before it goes into your intake manifold and then down into your cylinders. So there's that. Moving down, use your PCV crossover lines. That's not really useful to go over, but right here is your boost control solenoid cover. So this houses your stock factory 2-port boost controller. Some more PCV stuff. Down here is your power steering pump. This is your alternator cover. We have your alternator itself. That's pretty, not self-explanatory, but kind of charges your battery, in the simplest terms, charges your battery as you drive. Here's your alternator itself. You have your intake manifold, so this whole red piece is your intake manifold. You have your throttle body that's connected to your intake manifold, throttle body coupler that is connected to your top mount intercooler. We then have, moving along, we have a bypass valve. So this is not a blow-off valve. This does not shoot air into the atmosphere. This is a bypass valve, so it recirculates air back into your system. There's a nice little hose that runs into your turbo inlet. Moving down, this is your AC compressor, and here's a high pressure AC line that runs down here. Down here we have your radiator. You can't see all of it because the intake duct kind of covers it. It's your upper radiator hose, your coolant expansion, your coolant overflow tank. This is your secondary air pump. This is just for emissions related stuff. So there's that. As we're moving up, we have your stock fuel pressure regulator that runs up here, and that contributes to the fuel stumble at like 3,800 RPM and more, or wherever it happens anyway. So that's something that I personally will be changing out in the future. Your brake fluid reservoir and your master cylinder are down here. As we move along, here's your windshield washer fluid reservoir. Here's of course your battery, and then you have your fuse box. There's another set of fuses on the inside of the car down towards your OBD 2-port, so that's kind of as you open the door. Kind of to your left, there's like a little thing you can pull down and it'll show everything there. Now, when we're talking about aftermarket parts and stuff like that, what you'll mainly see changed is, well, what I'm mainly going to change. One of the first things you'll see is the intake will be changed. Some aftermarket intakes retain this intake air duct, such as like the Cobb SF intake. I'm pretty sure it retains it, so it directs air into there. I'll be picking up the Grimspeed one. So the Grimspeed one actually does not retain that. It just runs, somehow grabs air from up there. So the intake will be replaced. This hose will be replaced. This will be taken out, capped off over there. Turbo inlet will eventually be replaced with a silicone one, which should be good. Boost controller will definitely be replaced. Once I start getting higher up into the modification list that I plan to do, this will be replaced with a front mount, so you'll have charge piping that comes off your turbo as well as off of the throttle body right there. Runs down on each side to a big core that'll end up under your grill here. I was thinking of replacing the intake manifold if I ever get that high in power, but that'll be something for later on. Bypass valve will definitely get replaced. I was thinking of going with the Grimspeed one. So there's plenty of stuff. And I mean, as far as aftermarket parts go, so if you see things like master cylinder braces, you now know that that's where your master cylinder brace is. Or master cylinder brace. There your master cylinder is. And so on. So that's really it for now, guys. Let's head back inside because it is a little chilly and I can tell that I'm shaking the camera here. So we'll see you back inside. Alright guys, so we're back inside now. We're back into the warmth because it's pretty cold outside today. It's not too bad, but it's kind of cold. So I hope that helps anyone who has questions regarding what's inside their engine bay, and I'll definitely be going over and kind kind of posting that onto forums because I remember searching up, like I said at the beginning of the video, I remember searching up and trying to find out what was in my engine bay, because I was in the situation where I popped the hood and I had a friend asking like, oh, what's this? And what's that? Where's your turbo? And so I didn't know a damn thing. So I plan to kind of post that up somewhere. But if you guys like the video and want to see more, well, I'll be posting more anyway. But I'd really truly appreciate it if you subscribed, and let's do some more Subaru stuff. But anyway, I hope you guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be, and look out for the next one. So have a good one, guys, and I'll be back soon enough.